Good evening and welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT and tonight we're live with the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship. Tonight's round is round 5 and that sees us at Long Beach Street Circuit. The session tonight we've got 10 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, a 40-minute race. Weather conditions are mostly cloudy, time of day is sunrise and the cars capped at 47% fuel means they will need to stop to be able to finish out their race. Our championship standings after round 4, we have Blake Warboys leading a great charge on 1,038 points, followed by Harry Dodds on 834 and Ricky Hyde on 758. And the results from last week for round 4 at Mount Panorama Circuit, a clean sweep taken from round 4 at the mountain, with Blake Warboys taking pole position, the fastest lap bonus points, as well as the race victory. And that's all going very well for the series leader as well, to be able to be progressing towards claiming the series champion prize, courtesy of our partners at Next Level Racing, being able to score a Next Level Racing HF8 haptic gaming pad. So a fantastic prize up for grabs. We'll take a look at the track. Long Beach, 3.14 kilometers currently. Track temperature is 23 degrees, 25% humidity, and it is cloudy conditions. We'll jump trackside, see how the drivers are faring in the practice session. If you're joining us for the stream, jump in the chat, say hello. Let us know here to cheer on. It's going to be some very nice track conditions out there at the moment. A few first times coming through out of the practice session. Jamie Tung quickest around the remote for 120.2. Oh, big slip for Schroeder. Sounds like a dead engine going off in the background somewhere. Change of car colour for Trainer tonight. Swapping out that green for the purple. Thanks for the follow, Zena Raven. At 21 drivers loading in at the moment. We've still got a few that are going to be absent as they're journeying back from the mountain from the weekend. Just under 2 minutes left to the practice session. And finally, a little bit of a smaller field. It might be a bit easier to be able to get that qualifying time in for them tonight. Tim Mulford comes in with a 119.7. Need to find a spot and pull up the car, not getting in the road there. Let's find some heavy traffic in the practice. Wide run to be able to commence. Good amount of speed coming down onto this lap here. We'll likely see that happening with the outlaps at Long Beach. And stay out a little bit wide and then dive down and across as you approach the control line. And a much later turn in gives you that little bit more run onto the pit straight. Some very tight times through the board so far. Looks like we're going to be in for some pretty tight racing. Bit across before the 10 o'clock. Sorry, 10 minutes, not 10 o'clock. 1:59 kicks us across. Lots scrambling to try and find their piece of track. I have to be cautious to be not getting any contact as well down pit lane. That's about all drivers getting ready to head out. Car 13 is currently still parked up, leaving a little bit of space. You see the drivers and trains sort of slowing it down a little bit to approach these last few corners, just to try and add a bit of space. Might even jump on board for a hot lap around with Tim Mulford. You can see doing the much wider turn for this run on. On board with Tim Mulford. And holding down along that pit exit line. Careful not to cross it too much, otherwise you'll get a slow down request. And then second at the exit. Tap of the brake. Watching too much of that curb so it doesn't dive the car across into the wall. And cut as much of that inside curb. Very slippery to be able to take too much of that inside curb. Going across to the left-hand raw. And at the 100-metre mark. Ducking just behind that section of wall, pulling out. On fifth or third and second. You can cut a heap of corner here and then just feathering the throttle. A little bit of a controlled rear slide, just try and push as much down into first to make this turn. Another driver doing the exact same tactic to get a little bit of that extra speed. He's going to bring the car across towards the inside wall more to shorten that amount of distance needed. And two pink sectors as well. Bit of understeer as he brings it across to park it up for that brilliant hot lap. So it's 1:19.607 for Tim Mulford. And the first pole setting time for the hot lap around with Tim Mulford and the Commodore. Just got 1.1 away from that time. Unfortunate couple of wall scrapes there. Won't be beneficial for this lap. Needs to be able to get this one in as another banker as well. Only 9 drivers getting in the time so far. With a track like Long Beach, it can be a little bit of a mix-up in the qualifying positions as well. Ushered the lights from Arnold. Nice line through the fountain for Simmons. No timed lap on the board yet. Messed it up for Blake Fitz. I'll have to bring the car back to the pits. It's going to be a good waste of time though to be able to get another time to lap in. Just avoids that wall. It must have been a small scrape. Oh, Chick just gets in a timed lap. Same spin again for Rushworth as well. Corner catching a few drivers off so far. Trainer just makes some movement up into P5. 0.8 off the current pole time, and that's Mick Clifton snuck through. Nearly scraping 2 tenths ahead of Mulford. Our series leader, Blake Warboys, has just registered the session, not in it yet. So only just scraping it in with only 2.5 minutes left on the clock for qualifying. Otherwise you can miss the cut-off for registration for the race. Boys just getting in the car. We'll have enough time to get one hot lap in it for Warboys. There's a little bit of a buffer in the championship standings. Will that one lap be enough to try and sneak in for another pole for Warboys? And some great runs of clean sweeps. That could be another possibility tonight. And Clifton enjoying a little bit of slipstream here from behind Mulford. Just waiting on Fertner, Bunt and Warboys to be able to get a lap in. Warboys about to start the first timed lap. Commencing that now for Warboys. Bunt not currently in the session, not sure if that's a disconnect that may be happening and Bunt will have to come in. Like a pit practice here. Very early pit limiter. And car seeming to be a little towy in the rear for Fitz at the moment. He's wanting to slip out a fair bit under power, which is what caught Fitz off at the last corner hairpin. Oh boys, got a couple of pink sectors here. And you have a yellow, so maybe not enough to pip a pole here. Right on the end of the clock as well. 10 minutes has been reached. Just hanging at 58 seconds of 59. Warboys takes pole by half a second. It's a very good couple of pink sectors. Just to finish that right at the end. Improvement for Fitz there. He's going for a scenic detour here. And the last timed lap for Simmons. First in the pits. Hayes has brought the car in. Trying to jump the fountain, destroyed the car, having a bit of fun. So we'll be able to get these qualifying results in a moment. Get booted across in a moment, or unless Stephen Luckhurst exits the car, and then it'll progress the session across. And there we have it. Qualifying results for round 5 of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship at Long Beach Street Circuit. Our pole position driver is Blake Warboys. And then the following rest of the cars on the grid is then Mick Clifton, Tim Mulford, Michael Schroeder, Blake Fitz, Jamie Tung, Andrew Rushworth, Jacob Trainer, Jacob Guscott, Jason Schooler, Nicholas Martin, Jeff Arnold, Marty Hughes, Cooper Cotterill, Stephen Luckhurst, Brad Hayes, Mick Nancaro, Kurt Heath in P18. We've only got a few more to go, so I won't lose my voice by reading these. So Greg Lenarchik in P19 through to P22. Then we have David Simmons, Carl Ferdner, and Ryan Bunt. And then Warboys Motorsports in the channel saying he only just made it home in time to race, cutting it very fine, Blake Warboys, and then to be able to take pole position just in the one single lap, just within scraping it in time. So fantastic result there. Just waiting on two drivers to grid up. Waiting on David Simmons to grid now. More drivers grid, getting ready to see the lights come up. Start the round 5.
Green flag, green flag.
Clifton gets away to a brilliant start. He's going to have an optimal line for most speed, but he's going to have to try and cover the middle here. Otherwise, he's going to have cars sneaking either side for turn one. Oh, boys, just sneaks it through. Like some contact for Lenarchik. Seems to be okay, just wall scrape by the go of things. Although he's nearly pushing out a 1 second lead already. And pretty good getaway for the start of the race. There's a big opportunity for some smashes in this concrete canyon of Long Beach. Oh, Blake Fitz. It's had a smash. Things off into the runoff area. Simmons coming into the pits. Think the potential jump start, or is there damage that's going to have to be contended with here? Oh, big wall strike here. That's Arnold. He's got stuck on the wall. He's got the car peeled away. Just how much damage is going to be there to contend with. It was dragging for a while. Mulford trying to hold on tight. Gonna go for a move, potentially no. Clifton powers out of the hairpin. Oh, the car's stuck trying to find their way through at the hairpin. Marcos gets the car off the wall. There'll be a couple peeling into the pits, no. Arnold has it. It would have been turn 3 or 4 strike, I think. But Arnold would have to be contending too. He was locked onto that wall for a while. Oh, very tight. And toe for Lenarchik. Making some heavy contact into that tyre wall. He's having a big hit down through turn 1. Oh, Mulford's looking for opportunities to get around Clifton here. Much later break coming down into the hairpin. And Clifton seems to have a lot more drive getting out of the hairpin. See how close these cars get to the wall when the camera gets thrown well and truly on the other side of that fence. Mulford gets a pass around Clifton. Looks like a fair bit of a drop back for Clifton. Maybe an error opened the door for a pass. Oh, boys, coming into the pits. May have had some damage from the hit down in turn 1 that was reported. That's how sees Tim Mulford pull up into the lead. Mick Clifton P2. And they're getting a pretty good gap to the cars behind. Race leaders 4 seconds away from Schroeder in P3. And saw our first safety car for the series last week at the mountain. There's a pretty good chance that we'll potentially see one tonight. Considering we're now lap 5, they've had a pretty good run. There's been a few drivers having to come in before a pit. Nankari, Lenarchik, Arnold. Hughes also coming in, and Warboys. We saw Simmons come down. He had a 37.4 second journey down there, so may have been a jump start. He hasn't actually stopped in the box, so he's only just fit in. Made a journey down the lane. Oh, bit of a wall strike to the car ahead. That was Marty Hughes. Jamie Tung on board. There's a few scrapes to the walls in those few previous corners. Trying to get as much use of the track as he can to try and close in on Schroeder here. Some pretty comfortable gaps starting to appear, and the drivers aren't going to be trying to fight too much to try and find some rhythm. It very much is a race of attrition around Long Beach. And Tung gets the pass. See how the pass is executed for Tung. Door left open with a slip. There was almost some wall contact for Schroeder. And Clifton still holding on. Looks like that gap's starting to close in a little bit. In previous laps, Clifton was only a small bit slower than Mulford. For that lap, just around nearly 5/10 quicker than Mulford. So has been able to cover some big gap again. And some big movement for Ryan Bunt. Not getting in that qualifying time. It's now moved up 11 positions. And biggest drop with Warboys having to come in and take that pit. And it's definitely without outside that pit window, so there will need to be another stop for Warboys. There's going to need to be some big work done here to be able to make the way back through the field and go into some damage recovery. Oh, spun cart, that's Simmons. Spun at the last corner. Looks to be a fair few wall strikes going on for a lot of drivers. The current fastest lap of the race, a 1:18.93, and it's gone to Blake Warboys. That was the previous lap around as well. There's a car. By now it's Rushworth's taken some damage. Yeah, that car's not turning. The engine's just blown. That's Warboys looking to make a move on Cooper Cotterill. Nice outside pass, going to put a nice position to be able to get the following left-hander for Warboys. A couple of slow cars that have just made a wall strike. Bunt and Fitz. A little bit loose in the rear for Bunt. Fitz gets the nose in at the hairpin to be able to get a nice inside line to power out. Cotterill just dives into the pits behind. Good Bunt, hold ground here. He's fallen back a car length. And Fitz moves to cover. Oh no, overshoots, gives the position back to Bunt. Baker's too heavily on the defensive work. Fitz trying to turn this car in, or is it another crash? You can see there, Rushworth waiting on that toe now. Traffic on approach. Jeff Arnold moves aside to let Mulford through. Going to peel up into the pits from Clifton. And from P2. Looking to go for an undercut. It is just on that pit window. So it could pay off here. It depends on how much traffic's going to be sitting around for Clifton. If he's got a good stretch of clear traffic ahead. Got 10 seconds to P10. It's going to allow some fresh rubber to be able to lay down some pretty solid times. And this undercut may definitely work for Clifton. And Fitz coming in to tend to that damage. At least within that pit window, so it's not going to be too catastrophic having to come in at this point for the damage with Fitz. Make use of those fast repairs and get back out on track. Got some pretty good gaps. Ooh, some weird things going on with lap traffic ahead here. Cotterill blinking and even vanishing on the relative as well. So it usually means an imminent disconnect. Flash of the lights let know he's going to go through. Well done for Cotterill. He rolls off on the exit and holds that line. Rushworth back out on track. And tucking in behind Furtner. Also got Fitz looking to be able to move up towards the front end again after also having to deal with damage. Oh, slide again, those cold tyres. The car looking for Fitz earlier in the session seems to be really slippery in that rear. Oh, spin for Rushworth, quick recovery work. Our race leader, Mulford, starting to close in on position 13. So it's 13 laps and on approach to start lapping position 13. So we're almost on approach to the halfway point. Bunce just banging in for the stop. So first up driver that has been in for a stop is Warboys, but did pit on lap 4. I think that's going to be just outside the window. It's going to have to be a little bit of potential for some conserving, or I'll be hoping for a safety car. Where Clifton having pit on lap 10 and currently in P8. 43 seconds behind Mulford. Total pit lane journey time 51 seconds. So we're seeing on average probably we're sitting around the 51 second time. That's a very quick stop for Warboys, a 46.8 second journey, 9.5 in the box, compared to Clifton's 13.7. So I think just the much less fuel. Yeah, Mulford brings the car in. And Tongue follows suit as well. The line's a little bit blocked there with Arnold behind. Scott and Trainer peels off into the pits, as does Schooler. If the drivers don't have any damage and the tyres are doing alright, they may try and last out for as much of that tank as they can, just in case they need to have to use a fast repair later. Mulford exiting the pits now. And here comes Clifton. Oh, fight out of pit lane. So this could be race lead for Clifton by the time the other cars peel off. The Warboys is ahead. And having been in for a splash of fuel. Jamie Tongue takes race lead. Will he stay out on track? No, peels in. Scott's coming in as well. Yeah, War Boys does need that fuel. Nicholas Martin, some front left damage. Car seems to be doing alright. Here comes Clifton and Mulford, having got their pit stops out of the way. So this will be opportunity for a change in lead once Martin comes in for fuel. I'm going to say car will be getting pretty light. We only get 1 to 2 laps more. The car, well, we're not handling great, or it is very light on fuel. And a crash for Bunt. I think that's a dead engine requiring a tow. Luckhurst, a few boxes ahead. The 13.8 point is the gap to P2 now. Mulford gets a good run around Clifton. Nick Martin coming into the pits now. And Four Boys having that first early stop. And getting in the fourth stop to be able to get enough fuel to bring the car home. Comes back out in P9. Fun car. Is that Kurt Heath? Car appears to be all right. Hey Mark, thanks for jumping on the stream. Pippa Cotterill on the hunt for Brad Hayes. Whoa, very nice line. Oh no, still a little bit struggling to get the power down. Hayes did similar as well with that more inside line in the end. More cars peeling off into the pits. That's Rushworth coming in now. So this will be pit number 2. Schoolers close in on the tail of Trainer. Arnold back in the pits. Lap 20, 26 minutes have passed. Almost 3/4 of the way through. Tim Mulford's leading the way with almost 5-second gap over P2. And Mick Clifton doing well with also a gap to P3. Could be potential for a very comfy P2 finish if this was to continue as it is. Joins this little fight here. Bunching up to contest P5. Guscott leading the pack here. School up. Can you go for a move? Starting to position the car a little bit slightly different. Gets a move on Trainer, will be enough to be able to pull it up in time. Tucks in behind School Up. Now chain this for an outside pass. And Trainer almost tries to jump in and follow suit. 2 spots made up by War Boys. P14 in under, sorry, P13 under blue flags. Boys gets past over Guscott. Simmons and Furtner pressing for P18. And Simmons just gets the pass. A couple of these battles still holding the positions. And Caro's retired out, as has Lenarchik and Rushworth. Burtner comes into the pits. Hughes back in the pits. Trying to find that pit box. Close to 8 minutes remaining now. We're on lap 24. This battle for the spot on the podium is continuing between Schroeder and Tung. They've been at it for a fair while now. And Warboy's trying to pick way through the field at the moment. It's putting down some very quick lap times. 19.37 was the last lap. That's almost a full second quicker than any other car out on the field for that previous lap. School are quickly closing in to Guscott. Some big pressure being felt from Guscott now. And some very quick times coming through now. These previous laps down into very low 120s. The car's starting to get down into their last laps of fuel. A lot of the drivers did only pit in the last 9 or 10 laps. Let's see, Warboys down the back here on approach towards Tung and Schroeder. Solid lucky was at it barely flat against the tyre wall. Could just check up Warboys is trying to recover. So the car can usually pretty good with a barely even side hit into the wall. He's lucky he had that car into a slide in time. Warboys gets the pass. So it's been able to open up the track a bit for Schroeder now. There's enough of a gap. About 4 seconds to Warboys behind. 4 minutes left in the race. So we're going to see 3 to 4 laps left in it. Moffat leading nicely with almost 8 seconds over P2. Clifton's got another 5 seconds to P3. So probably not too much pushing going on at this stage. It's not worth a risk trying to close any gap to Mulford ahead. And it is a teammate behind for Clifton. This will look good for the two if they can get a 2-team podium here. Partners just coming into the pits, some front right-hand damage. Nice repair being used. That's Lucas behind potentially. That is Lucas' car. Traffic coming up ahead. So of all the cars that are currently in, the most down is 4 laps. Some pretty early retirement, setting back the rest of the drivers down at the bottom of those standings towers. Schooling in between trainer. A little bit of a slip. Third round of blue flags moves aside for the battling free. Potentially going to be seeing last laps here. A little bit of a slip. Schooler behind. Doesn't lose too much power down. But Guscott is pulling ahead. Traffic up ahead. David Simmons. There's going to be too many opportunities to be able to move aside here. Hopefully they don't close in too quickly. They're going to have to just stick in the train here. There's nowhere else to go. Oh, they sneak through. Nicely executed from Simmons. Darts across towards that inside wall. Schooler starting to pass those mirrors. Trainer just cautiously following these two. So pretty heavily occupied with each other. Trainer should be able to just tuck in closely and pick for an opportunity as the door opens here and sneak on through. He has to drop back a little bit here. Oh, Schooler goes for a dive. Hard to make it. Guscott just sticks the nose through. Oh, very wide wide line through the fountain, narrowly avoiding that wall on the exit. And there's the clock done and dusted. Checkered flag will be out for Mulford. Only a few corners to go. And Retribution, yep. Massive respect to these guys being so fast in these cars. 1,000 kilometres around Bathurst for enough to scare you. Yes, definitely. And there's the checkered flag for race win to Tim Mulford. Podium P2 for Mick Clifton. And Warboys up in P3. Big recovery. Mulford celebrating a burnout. Schroeder in P3. Sure, when Warboys managed to make some passes. We'll go back and just see where recording for the P3. Must have been a little bit of a rear slip there for Schroeder. Cost the podium position in the final lap. Brad Hayes for a top 10 finish. Only a couple of drivers left to finish. Ryan Bunt tucking behind. Lots of celebratory burnouts going on. I'll take a look at these race results. Round 5 of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship at Long Beach. We have Tim Mulford taking the top of the podium to secure that race win. Congratulations to Tim. And then also on the podium in P2 is Mick Clifton, and in P3, Blake Warboys. And then the rest of our standings then goes Michael Schroeder, Jamie Tung, Jacob Gascott, Jason Schooler, Jacob Trainer, Nicholas Martin, Brad Hayes, Cooper Cotterill, Blake Fitz, Stephen Luckhurst, Jeff Arnold, Brian Bunt, Marty Hughes, Kurt Heath, David Simmons in P18. And then 19 through to 22, we have Carl Furtner, Andrew Rushworth, Greg Lenarchik, and Mick Nancaro. Bring our drivers in for a chat. Congratulations, guys. That was a pretty good race out there for us.
Yeah, cheers, JT. Congrats, Tim. Too good.
It was a nice little close battle when you went for that undercut there, Mick. And then come up alongside of Tim and fight all the way out of the pit lane exit.
Yeah, but I'm an idiot. I stopped the lap too early and didn't have enough petrol.
Oh, you had to back off a bit.
Yeah, I just had to watch him go. Bye.
Oh, no, that's what was going on.
It tricked me because when he come out, I thought, ooh, I should have come out further. Maybe I've underfueled. But then when I saw him back down, I thought, okay, no, it should be good. I'll just take it easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just good to be up there, though.
Yeah, you're getting early pole position in qualifying too.
Yeah, I thought I had it for a while there until some Blake character came.
Comes in and gets it in one lap right at the end of the session.
What's happened there? I think my headphones are playing up.
It's alright, we can hear you still.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've seen some damage on Blake's car and I let Tim go and hopefully he was going to catch him, but Blake come in.
Yeah, I wonder if he got a meatball flag because he hit that wall at turn 1 and then he pitted early and I'm like, oh, he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah, pit very early, only lap 4, so it was definitely out of that window. So really mixed up. Oh, he comes for a chat now too. We'll bring him down into the chat. And congrats, Blake.
Hello, thank you.
He's had a good drive out there too. We're just talking about you having to come in for the early stop after striking the wall.
Yeah, I guess that's what you get for running no basically 1 lap for a race. But anyway.
Yeah, just snuck it
bad
in
luck.
for the registration and to get a timed lap in
Oh,
too.
Yeah, I was hustling to get home. Obeying all the road rules, of course, but yeah, yeah, left work right on like, I think it was like 25 past 7 or something. So I was like, oh, I'll be cutting it fine.
Yeah, cutting it very fine.
Yeah, if I didn't see that white flag, you would have been in second.
Yeah.
There was a couple of, or 0.2 of a litre left at the end there.
Yeah, you did cut
Yeah,
it fine.
I was wondering why you backed off. You had a good gap, and then I was like, hang on, you're right there.
Yeah, I was spewing. Stopped the lap early, maybe 2 laps too early even.
Yeah.
Ah well, you live and
Oh.
learn.
Yeah, almost paid off. Worth the gamble sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the thing with these timed races though, I'm never confident.
Yeah, you can get an extra 1 to 2 laps easily out of it. Just depends on where they
Yeah.
cross.
Yeah, you got to deal with it. So I usually have it filled up a bit extra, but coming in that lap too early, I couldn't fit it in the tank.
Yeah, you had no choice, did you?
No.
Yeah, unfortunate, but at least it still managed to be able to pull the podium for you.
Yeah. Very happy.
And some good damage control for you in the end too, Blake, with being able to climb back up and secure a podium.
Yeah, the track was nice. After driving last night on a hot track, it was good to just push pretty hard to on a nice cool track. So yeah, good damage limitation. So yeah, pretty happy.
And you had a pretty good launch there at the start too, Mick.
Yeah, I got a great start. Went up. I broke a bit too early, being too cautious, and Blake got back around me. Probably a good thing, really.
And good to be up the top end again too, Tim.
Yeah, it's good after 2 shocking weeks. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a while.
Yeah, a bit of bad luck at the mountain last week for you.
I did a Blake last week. I don't know, like a message. I was having problems finding the serve, and then all of a sudden it reappeared. So I just jumped in, did a couple laps, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I didn't actually test the tires how they'd go without changing. And then the week before, just after battling 4 team cars and surviving, then unfortunately getting caught with the lap car. It happens, eh? That's racing.
Yep, that's it. Especially at the mountain when anything and everything usually happens.
I love that track, but I hate it at the same time.
Yeah, it can come undone real quick. At least be getting away from the close walls for next week with Road America. Some ample room for some runoffs, but still some big spins can be caught out for a lot of drivers there. But it should be some pretty good tight racing.
Yeah, I love Road America. It's a good track.
Yeah, can't wait. I've just set a PB there in practice. Happy.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Road America produces some good racing, so it should be good fun.
Yeah.
Should be good. Looking forward to seeing how you battle it out there next week for it all.
Yeah, cheers. And congrats to Tim. Just too good tonight. I think you had me covered anyway, but I wish I could afford him.
I don't know. I saw you when you nearly got pole, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be on for a battle here. And then I was sitting behind you for the first few laps. I thought, I'm not really gaining, so I just thought, oh, I'll save a bit of fuel. And then you made the mistake, and I was like, oh, okay. But I was expecting you to be, especially when you come out in the pits, I thought, oh, this is going to be tight. But no,
Yeah,
you did well.
I was thinking of letting you go when I did make that mistake, and I thought, oh, well, that makes that decision then.
But some people you worry when you come out of the pits and you know there's another car there, but we both survived and there was no contact. So I'm like, sweet, we're on, let's go.
Yeah, it's not too hard to leave room, is it? Just got to leave that car width and then you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, it was great. He's had some good space. And you dived out of
Yeah.
that pits and you're taking that corner trying to tip him right there.
Yeah, I'm glad he just that split second more and he would have had it.
Yep.
Just had the acceleration out of there enough.
You know,
It
I
was a
think
bloody
even,
good race. Enjoyed it.
even your stops was pretty quick too. It was only a difference of about a second, I think, less than a second. So he's only had 13.72 in the box and 14.85 for Tim, so it was very close.
I wish I did have that extra
Yeah,
second.
if you had that extra second just for that fuel, and you could have put the boot down.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully better luck for you next week. And Mick?
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully. Looking for that win.
Yep, wishing you all the best of luck for that. And I'll throw over the shout-outs to you first, Jim.
Yeah, cheers, mate. As usual, hybrid racing simulations, Melbourne Hydrographics Depot, Prestige Cinematography, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, Aramex Australia in Heatherton, of course, Phoenix Driver Development for all the coaching and setups, Bubbles and Balloons, and of course, we support ITP Australia and New Zealand.
Cheers, and over to you, Mick.
Yeah, just thank Abby Timber, Primal Wheels, Box and Lock Storage at Narang, Modern Deck, and the team, and Apex Esports League for putting this on.
Cheers, Mick. Over to you, then, Blake.
To the team, WKMP Sim Sports, Wodonga Carts and Parts, Chubby Buns Burgers for jumping on board, Super Cheap Auto and the Super Cheap Group, including all their brands, Pool Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, Send It Don't Bend It, Ampere, and Warboys Motorsports.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Congratulations on your results tonight, and all the best of luck at Road America next week.
Yeah,
No,
cheers, JT.
Cheers,
All
mate.
right,
As I said,
catch us all.
also, well done to Mick and Blake.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congrats,
Well done,
fellas.
guys. Well done.
There we have our podium finishes for round 5, with Tim Melford taking the race win, in on P2 Mick Clifton, and in P3 Blake Warboys. We'll be back again next time with round 6, and that sees us at Road America, so it's going to be a great one. So you don't want to be missing that. If you haven't hit the follow button yet, do so you'll be notified when we go live. To be back again live with the broadcast, 7:35 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to be able to see you trackside next week. But also a big thank you to our sponsors and partners, Pagnian Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatic, Stump Grinding Central Coast, Razor, and Chubby Buns Burgers. Once again, thank you for tuning in. See you next week.